Family, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here for this special Saturday show. I go live on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays at 12 p.m. As you know, major news, I'm on it. We got you covered right here at Bama Football on YouTube. I hope that you are being safe from the storm that is taking place across the entire country, it seems like, right? I mean, here in Alabama, to be honest, went and worked out with the guys this morning. You saw me at Coleman Coliseum this morning. That was shot at like 7 a.m. It's not even cold, to be honest, here. I mean, it's 50 degrees. I mean, is anybody getting snow inside the comment box? All right, I guess that's my question as we start. I don't know. It feels actually nice. I was out there this morning. It was cold and, now relatively nice. But there's a lot to dive into, right? There's a lot to talk about today, this morning, and kind of wanted to dive into that. I'm sure you caught Wake Up Bama where it kind of went into detail. But, kind of circling back on the news yesterday that came out, Coach Kapliovic finally out, the University of Alabama, and that was news that I guess we were waiting on. And I felt that the longer we got away from the Rose Bowl, the less likely it was, but they made the move last night. Is it interesting timing? I don't know about all that, but I think we all know that that was the right decision. It was something that had to be done with replacing Coach Kapliovic. And, you saw him recruiting and, people thought that he would maybe be moved to a different position, but in the end, they let him go. And here we are in search of another offensive line coach. So I think that it's going to be telling the direction that they go. I personally would like to see Alabama get somebody from the NFL to come in here and work with the offensive line. That has been kind of one of the things that I've been thinking about as you kind of look to a check mark box of like what is required here with the offensive line. And the great thing about Alabama's offensive line is we're starting from scratch, to be honest. Outside of Michael Carroll, you're going to have an entire new set of starters. Michael Carroll can be moved around. I guess we can talk about him, where we think he might go. That's something that we do usually during the week when we kind of look at the larger graphics and start to scale out the Alabama offensive line. You're going to have a new left tackle, a new guard, a new center, a new guard, I guess, if Carroll stays on the outside. So it's promising because new starts are promising, but we need an offensive line that is paired with running the football, right? I think we can all agree about that. That's kind of where it starts, and we'll see how that happens. I would personally like somebody coming in from the NFL, and that kind of brings you to a couple names that people have been talking about. I think Jeff Stoutland is a name that everybody wants, but that would be like getting Saban back. Right? That's another name that has been here. We all want what was here in the past. Stoutland has been with the Eagles, I think, for, 13th season or something like that? I don't think that he's coming here. People have also said there's a couple other names that we've kind of thrown around. I think the name that makes up more sense to me is Scott Huff, right? Because he was with Coach Kalen DeBoer. He's coaching tomorrow in the NFC Championship, the tight ends for the Rams. That could be a name. He was with Washington for several seasons and then chose not to come here or chose to, go to the NFL. And he's done a pretty good job with the with the Rams. And I'm with you, Christ Bammer inside the comment box, and good morning to everybody joining us today on this Saturday. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance that Stoutland comes here. Like none, like zero. And I don't want to rain on your parade, but that's a downgrade. Okay, and you're like, no, it's Alabama. Alabama's at the pinnacle. Yeah, of college football, but nobody's going from the offensive line and they're coming here to Alabama football. It's just not how it's going to work. Specifically, with the way that college football has no rules and parameters. Can you imagine a guy like that who's been in the NFL for 13 years consecutively coming into this mess, whatever like jambalaya pie that we have created with college football? No. I mean, until this, look, let me ask you a question. Okay, I'm going to ask you a poll question inside the comment box. For all coaches, better to coach right now, like we'll say these last year, this year, next year, better to coach right now in college football or NFL? We'll put college and we'll put NFL. I don't even know if you can call it college anymore. I think it's like college pro sports or whatever it is. Go ahead and vote inside the comment box. And I have been asking this as of late for those of you that do follow recruiting and see all the photos that are posted from the players that have the guys on the road, right? You see these photos, right? Like I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like if you don't know. And I keep on asking because we follow the news as it happens. I mean, every single thing, we go to it. We bring it up. We like to highlight different points and, all this sort of stuff. I'm talking about the photos like this, like of the guys that are out there on the grind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's countless, right? You see these guys constantly, right, out there recruiting with the guys. Do you agree with this? You know what I'm talking about? I have seen every single coach out there, even Kapliovic as of yesterday. Has anybody, can you please help me out? Now that you've had a chance to think about it, have you seen Ryan Grubb out there? Clearly, Ryan Grubb isn't going anywhere. I'm just saying, have you seen him in any of these photos? Why is he's got to be recruiting, right? I did see Brian Ellis, the new quarterbacks coach. He's out there recruiting quarterbacks. But as anybody out there, now that we have, I don't know, 150 people on, has anybody out there seen Grubb? And look, I'm just asking like where he's at. Super chat in from Gavin. Gavin, what's up, bro? I appreciate it, man. He says we should poach Miami or Iowa for their offensive line coach. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of poaching going on, right? I mean, you saw, and we'll get to that, here on the program probably next. And I'm sure you guys saw the poaching that Dabo Swinney was talking about. My goodness, yeah, if you're poaching players, you just poach coaches. Do you think that Alabama could outbid Miami for their coaches? And probably Iowa. That's not bad. I don't know. It seems like Miami just has like so much money, it's just ridiculous. I mean, they're able to keep in their running back. They just, paid him whatever, right? What was his name? Pringle? Remember he went in and people were like, yeah, he's going to come to Bama. And then like 2 nights later, he posted like the fattest chain that you've ever seen. He's not going in the portal anymore. Is there anybody that you can realistically think that could be added to your offensive line coach hot board? And like I said, I think Stoutland's out. All right. I know you probably say Sam Pittman. He's retired. He's tenured. I mean, you look at his resume. He coached everywhere, offensive line, right? For whatever reason, I don't see that as something that could go down. I think that Scott Huff makes probably the most sense right now. He's coaching tight ends. He's coached offensive line before. You need a tight ends coach and an offensive line coach. Shoot, bring him in to coach both. I don't know. JG says he feels Pittman isn't the right fit, ultimately. Thanks for the feedback, bro. So I guess right now it's like, is it Scott Huff? Is it going to be somebody else completely like out of left field? I mean, I don't think anybody knew that it was going to be Derek Nix. I think Derek Nix just kind of emerged, right, RJ saying Sharon Moore. Yeah. I don't know about that. All right. I'll take your calls here in a minute. I just enjoying this beautiful Saturday. Thank you very much for joining me today. And tonight at 7:30, we will be live again watching Alabama basketball take on Tennessee in a game that will include former G League player Charles Bediako, right? Gavin, in their super chat, is saying, heck, hire Jimbo Fisher, right? What is Jimbo Fisher doing? Seriously. Is Jimbo Fisher coaching anywhere? And see, Dino brings up a really great point. I was thinking about this too. There was a reason that Mike McDonald fired Grubb and Scott Huff. He fired them both, right? It wasn't just like he was looking for different options. Like there was a clear-cut reason, and I think that was each tied to the lack of run game, right? Okay, Dan was saying that Fisher's on Fox now. Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen him in a little while. I was like, where is he at? Also in the news, Dabo Swinney was talking that poaching situation. That was seriously watching that press conference of Dabo Swinney talking about Pete Golding in the timeline of those events. I mean, I think we all know that that is taking place, right? We all do. We know what's going on. Come on. But to see it broken down by a head football coach and the timeline, and specifically a player like Luke Farrelly. I mean, you're talking like a big-time guy, right? We have big-time guys here at Bama, everywhere else. Exactly, Samuel. And talking about like the timestamps at 8:02 p.m., at, 9:15 p.m. And to see that Pete Golding was aggressive enough to continue to go after him, even like the Ole Miss GM was like, I can't do anything about him. Pete's going to do whatever he wants. That tells me, okay, like put Pete Golding aside. That tells me that the coaches know that they can live in these gray areas because the NCAA is not going to do anything about it. Let's think about it like in this standpoint, okay? Do you think the NCAA is going to do anything about Pete Golding? Yes or no? I'd say no. Do you think the NCAA is going to do anything about Bediako playing tonight? No. Nate Oates is taking a firm stance. The university is taking a firm stance. They're like, look, he's a college student. Bediako wanted to come back and finish his degree. Period. Right? And the same for, I think in the other situation is probably a little bit different. But nothing's going to happen to him. That's why Pete Golding, he was going to do whatever he wanted to do. They paid the buyout. They went after him aggressively. He doesn't care. But B-Rob, I was just about to say that. The thing that was wild to me the most, and like what made my ears perk up, was when Dabo Swinney was saying that when Farrelly was a little bit unsure about, what he was going to do, he got a picture on his phone of $1 million contract from Pete Golding, okay? After Dabo Swinney learns about this, he goes and they're like, yo, we know what you're going to do. We're going to out you to, NCAA, everyone else. Pete Golding sends him a $2 million contract. Farrelly gets on a plane and he's gone. So, yeah, they don't care. And that's where we're at, which kind of leads us to our next point, which is Charles Bediako playing tonight. I mean, the topics that we're able to cover right now is just really incredible. So Charles Bediako, Alabama tonight, taking on Tennessee. And imagine being Tennessee. Imagine being anybody in the SEC and Nate Oates just bringing in a 7-foot, 225-pound big man from the G League. Well, there's other schools that are doing it too. And I think the biggest takeaway from me listening to Nate Oates, and I think this was a stellar point, the way that European players are able to play professionally and then come across and play here as freshmen. For example, the New Mexico Lobos, right? And there's countless, situations like this. They have a freshman who's like 24 years old, right? So he played professionally and then came over here now that you can pay him $1 million contracts, right? I mean, I guarantee you, Bediako, think about it. In the G League, Greg Byrne yesterday said that he was making like $50,000, right? I guarantee you, I bet you Bediako, for the rest of the season when they have 13 games left, depending on, where they go, March Madness, whatever it is. Let's say they have, 20 games left. What do you think he's getting paid for that 20 games? Like $2 million? $1 million? I don't know. Maybe not that much. Maybe it kind of depends because basketball has so much money to work with, but I guarantee you he's making way more than $50,000. Right? Just for that, because this is his last season here. And whether you like it or not, Nate Oates is rolling the dice here because, number one, he said that compliance has told him NCAA is not going to penalize you. Okay? The hearing is set for the 27th. That's how aggressive Nate Oates is being. He's like, we're not going to vacate a game. It's going to be fine. Plus, Nate Oates knows that his real chance to make a run at the title game and win SEC, go as far as they can go, they have to get Bediako. Aiden Sherrell's been playing great. Aiden Sherrell has a different game than Bediako. I've already pointed out on Wake Up Bama that against Purdue, against Arizona, Alabama was absolutely embarrassed on the boards. Yeah. Mr. Yee, probably like 150, something like that. Yeah, not $1 million. But you know what I'm saying? He's making way more than 50. Alabama was absolutely dominated on the glass, so much that it was like embarrassing. Let me see if I can find those stats real quick on my notes. I'm telling you, when I was like, man, and that's why I said, and I got a lot of heat for saying this at the time, I was like, I think Purdue would beat Alabama 10 out of 10 times. People were like, no, they wouldn't. Alabama would beat them at least once. I was like, I don't know. They got, against Purdue had 52 rebounds. Alabama had 28. I'd never seen a number like that until a couple weeks later when Arizona beat Alabama basketball and they out-rebounded them. Remember in Birmingham? 52-32. So, Bediako adds an instant board crasher, an instant big man. I think that he makes them capable of making a real run. So why, if Nate Oates is going to roll the dice, do it right now. Who cares? That Purdue and Arizona team, that Arizona team, I don't know what is Arizona's team right now? What are they ranked? Arizona basketball. Let me just see. Are they still rolling? That team was so good. Shoot. Oh my God. Yeah. They're number 1 in the country. That's my pick to win the title. When I watched that Arizona team and how I saw them finish on the back end stretch, I was like, this team, did you guys watch that game? I was like, this team is ridiculous. Come on. Man, yeah, they're 19-0. They're sawing through teams. God bless. Look at that. Yeah, this team is insane. Wow. Damn. 19-0. I was like, are they still rolling? Hell yeah, they're still rolling. They're the best team in the country. All right. Let me get through 0.5 real quick, and then I'll take some calls, okay? Are you guys staying warm? You guys okay? What's the temperature where you're at? I'm telling you, Tuscaloosa, it's beautiful. It's 50 degrees. It's nice over here. It was cold this morning, but it's not cold now. Yeah, I know. And I get it, man. Like, the basketball games, truth be told, in all honesty, one of the reasons that I don't watch a lot of basketball, and I do, right? I watch Alabama basketball games, but it's because it's so late and I have so much on my plate already as a human being that's like I can't like sleep is like it's so valuable to me. So I can't stay up late and then because I cut the podcast, right? And all the other stuff that comes with life. If a game is stretching to like 11, I just can't physically. There's only so much the body can do. You know what I'm saying? So do I want to hang out and like watch? Yeah, of course. But it's just like, I'm not going to go against the body, right? All right, so the college football playoffs, you saw this yesterday. This got buried in all of the news that happened yesterday. I thought this was still an interesting topic. Was the college football playoffs has decided to stay at 12, right? Which I think is a fine number. Stay at 12. I would imagine in 2027, that changes to 16, maybe for 2 years. And then it goes, I'm really scared that it eventually goes to 24 teams. It's going to be Thunderdome when it does that. I mean, I don't know. 24 teams. There's not 24 good teams. 16, maybe. 12 for sure, but the right 12. That's the important part. Is because like we didn't get the right 12 in this year, right? Can we all agree with that? There's no way in hell that Tulane and James Madison should have been in the playoffs. So the first year it was messed up because Boise State and Arizona State, they had byes. How is this happening? Who's running things? How are you not smart enough to understand that those decisions they don't make sense? They're not right. And even now you're like, oh, well, Tulane and James Madison, they got to get in. Well, why? Why? Are they part of the best 12? Well, not really, but they're in a conference that we have to make happy. No, bro, no. Give me the 12 teams, period. And that's what we go with. Not because Tulane has to or James Madison, whatever. Now, if those teams are legitimately a top 12 team, then yeah, put them in. Oh, my God. I think the SEC wants 16 teams, and the Big Ten wants 24. And they couldn't agree, so now we just stay at 12. I would imagine going forward, it's going to be much easier. The silver lining on this is it's going to be much easier for Alabama to make the playoffs. And when they don't, you imagine if Alabama doesn't make a 16-team playoff? Oh, my God. Alabama will make the playoffs forever now. Once it goes to 16 teams, because I would imagine that they're going to go like the top 5 from the Big Ten, the top 5 from the SEC, right? That's 10. And then, I don't know, 10, 12, 14. Yeah. 2 from the Big 10, the Big 12, 2 from ACC, and then 2 at large. You know what I'm saying? So the Alabama will be in for eternity once we move to 16. I guess that's the silver lining. So let's see what happens. All right. Well, with all that said, let's take some calls, see how guys are feeling. These are the main topics that we're kind of rolling with on the show today. But, it's your show. So, as you know, when you call in, keep in mind people are behind you. If you called in yesterday, you're off today. It's kind of how we roll. And let's do it. 850. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
What's up, Cody? How you doing, Brody? Come with it, man.
Not much. Hey, sorry, I was at a membership, so here I am. So anyway, you were talking about, I'm glad Coach Cap is gone. The problem is we need to fill that O-line's coach real bad. I do know that for me, I prefer Kyle Flood from Texas. I know Dano said in the comment section about Barnett from Iowa. I know Pittman is retired, so he's out of the picture. But I think we should just focus on trying to get. I mean, Huff won't be bad, but that's going to be a tough thing because of the Rams going to need him just for the NFC Championship, and then they're going to give him a raise. But for college football, I probably would put Kyle Flood in as offensive lines coach for Alabama, Kyle, because Kyle Flood right now, he's getting paid $1.3 million for a 3-year contract at Texas. If I'm going to do this, I'm giving him I'm going to give him 5 years, like $3 million, long-term longevity, so he can stay into the company. But you need him, and then you need a tight ends coach. Get what's his name? Who's that tight ends coach at also Texas? Well, Jeff Banks, because he has won a title with us at Alabama with Kyle Flood. If you can get Kyle Flood and Jeff Banks together, you got your tight ends coach and you got your O-lines coach. Thoughts on that, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time kind of going back to old people who are here. I think that's like reaching. Jeff Banks. Remember, Jeff Banks had a monkey. You remember this? He legitimately had a monkey. I remember he lived out at North River Yacht Club, and kind of the stories that would come out from this monkey, it was crazy. People would see the monkey. I never personally saw the monkey, but people would see the monkey like in the back of his car, just like kind of like hopping around. Kyle Flood, he probably wouldn't. I guess I'd have him as the number 2 offensive line coach, following Brent Key, since I've covered the team here.
Yeah.
But man, I don't think you just go and you like take him from Texas, and maybe he doesn't even want to come here.
The reason why I asked was because Jeff Banks is paying $775,000 as special teams coordinator plus tight ends coach at Texas.
Yeah.
Kyle Flood's $1.3 million. If I build a team of a coaching staff, you got to beat 3 years, $1.3 million. Kyle Flood has proven he's a high scoring offense, and he is a top O-lines coach. Besides Penn State and Michigan and Clemson, you've got Kyle Flood. Now, the reason why I have always thought about this, Jeff Banks, as good as Jeff Banks and Kyle Flood is, they are underhand by the ego of Steve Sarkisian. The reason why people may think that's a long shot is because Steve Sarkisian won't let them both go because of how dominant they can be. But I would probably consider either Huff, or if Huff is out of the picture, I would probably get Kyle Flood, but beat that 3-year contract and $1.3 million. And someone in that room can actually be like, you know what? Let's see if we can beat $1.3 million from Texas and get Kyle Flood back in. Because guess what? You're going to need the experience, and you're going to need someone who knows how to win. And Kyle Flood knows how to win. So does Jeff Banks. They both know how to win. And you're going to learn from a lot of experience. So Jay Nunez can learn from that. If Jay Nunez is gone for next year, you got yourself a special teams coordinator also in Jeff Banks. So there's a hybrid, and you can work around that. And then you can get NFL talent from there. So it's more complex then. But what I'm thinking would be a lot more simple if you get guys like that, and then you're going to pair them off with NFL coaching, and then you get NFL coaching, and then you can get guys like that. David Blue, I'm getting Dan Glass. I'm literally setting this all through my head, Kyle, but I can plan it off easier than a fiddle. But you can answer in the next call.
Thanks, Cody. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man.
No problem.
All right, take it easy. All right, next up, we'll go to the phone line, 813. Hey, welcome to the show. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Go ahead. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? It's Case from Tampa.
What's up, Case? I appreciate you calling in, man. How's the weather over there? Everybody is like in an apocalypse. The poles are going to flip over in the rest of the country. How about down there?
Yeah, not really for us. We're sitting at like an 81 degrees right now, man. It's nice and warm.
Yeah, good to hear from you, man. It's been a minute. Well, welcome to the show, man. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm going to say this. I don't know if a lot of people are going to really be happy with me saying this, but I'm not really upset that Coach Cap is out. But that being said, I said a while back, I really don't think he was the main reason why our offense wasn't that good. I really just think we didn't have the pieces we need. I know that there was a lack of, how much should they progress at certain positions, but I really, if you look back, from the beginning of the season, we constantly had a different starting group 24/7. We never had that solid. You know how they would always move someone in and out. Oh, this guy's going to start at guard today. This guy's going to start at tackle today.
Yep.
It was never consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that was on him. I think that was just based off of like who we had in the scenario at that time. I just don't think the group we had was really what we needed, what fit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think that depending on who we get to replace them, I think that we have a lot of good transfers coming in. So it really is it's a high upside regardless. That's why I said I'm not really upset with them being gone. It's just you just got to make do with what we have at that position. But regardless, I'm still iffy on what we're going to do at the running back position because we have all these new people coming in, and they were very obvious early on. The first, I know that he didn't end up coming, but we targeted running backs so hard.
Yeah.
But I don't know who is going to be the start. Clearly it's got to be a competition at that position because for them to have a couple guys returning, but then also target pretty hard in the transfer portal, it makes me wonder if they're not happy with the running back position or not. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well. Is like it seemed like right out the gates we went for a running back, and then we got completely burned by that kid, right? And then it seemed like there was definitely some other running backs that were on the radar, and it seemed like those other running backs, it just didn't work out, and they found other landing spots. I was wondering if because of how Alabama's running game operated last year, compound on the fact that you already have, 5 guys here, why were you going to come over here? Like, it wouldn't make sense. I'm not coming here, to be honest. If I'm a running back, I'm not coming here if I'm looking at grub. I'm not until I see a commitment to the run game. And that's just being 100% honest. Plus, I'm looking at the other guys in the room, and I'm like, yo, why aren't these guys going to play? You know what I'm saying? So it's like not scared of competition. It's just like, okay, A, they finished 125 out of 134 teams. B, the trajectory for Alabama running the ball is down. I've showed you the graph. I'm not making stuff up. It is. And 3, they already have all these running backs there. Right? So I think what was impressive is that none of the guys from Alabama besides Richard Young hit the transfer portal, right? It's like those guys feel that they have an opportunity to come. And here's that graphic right here that kind of illustrates what I'm talking about in terms of the running game, right? 24, 25, and I know Jam was banged up, but still 504, then 668, 2023, 890 yards with McClellan, 2022. Gibbs was criminally underrated and ran for 926, and then you could see the last time that Alabama reached the title game was in 21 and 20 when they both had running backs that ran for basically 1,400 yards. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. So I think running backs are kind of turned away right now outside of coming here, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, and you kind of have to go back to the offensive line and the offensive line coach. It kind of makes you wonder, is our issues running the ball, is it more of a running back issue, or is it more of an offensive line or is it kind of a tandem? Is it because one can't do what they want without the other? Mm-hmm. We certainly had some pieces that were great at run blocking, but it just seemed like and then it makes you also question, was it a grub thing? Was it the creativity and play calling for the run? Because sometimes you don't have to be very creative. If you go back and look at Miami's run game or Indiana's run game, it wasn't creative. It was run it up the middle, and they got 8 yards of carry.
I agree. And same for Indiana. It was a tandem backfield of big posing running backs. It wasn't complicated. It was just a healthy dose of the running game again and again and again till it broke you down.
Yeah, exactly. But no, other than that, that's the main thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen here. I really want to see A.K. Deer get some carries. I think that he's pretty electric. I'm excited to see the running backs this upcoming season because I feel like we have every archetype. When you play NCAA, you know how you have every archetype of running back. I feel like we have that right now. So regardless of what our offensive line looks like, as long as they're decent, I feel like we could run the ball whatever way we want, whether we want to throw the ball to them, whether we want to get it to the outside, get it to the inside, regardless. I feel like we could have a very successful run game if we've got just a decent set of group of guys up front. But that's the main thing I wanted to hit on. I don't want to take the call up for too long. It's nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I hope I keep doing the Wake Up Bamas. I love them right now. They allow me to go to work, but get the scoop of what's going on and keep me informed, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on Wake Up Bama. It's been a good addition. I know we're kind of entering kind of the months like that we got to kind of go through, but it's something that I think a lot of people kind of lean into for sure. So thanks, Case. It's good to talk to you, man. Enjoy that balmy weather, man. We'll be up here in the big coats.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. See ya. All right, that was Case. Good call. 785. You're up next. Here's a look at the Alabama running back room. And as Case was talking about, like the different architects of the different type of running backs. I was streaming. Sometimes I stream. I don't play. I literally do not play the video game. I play it once a year. It's so stupid. I pay to buy the game just to stream it before the season. Remember this? And I played, and I played that first year. I think I won the national title. Did I not? I think I finally won a title. And then the second year, Daniel Hill was my main running back, and it was crazy. I was like feasting. I'm telling you, the season is still ongoing. I haven't finished it. I'm like in week 6 or 7, and Daniel Hill might run for 2,000 yards on my game. It was crazy. Like he was unstoppable. So maybe I feel like I'll play a game today. I don't know. Okay. Back to the phone lines. 785. Hey, thanks for calling in. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from? Hello? 785. I can't hear you. Call back. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes the lines, I don't know. But 785, if you want to call back, now's a good time, man. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so as I said, tonight we'll have the watch along. We'll start it probably right at tip-off. 7:30 is the tip-off between Alabama taking on Tennessee. And I think clearly the headline is around .4 right here with Charles Bediako being suited up. I think the latest update is that Nate Oates is going to play him, and he's going to come off the bench, right? So I don't think he's going to be a guy that is an instant starter, but he will come off the bench, and I think he has to play. I mean, he's going to give Alabama a great opportunity to be able to win this game. Let's try this 3-3-4. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from? Yeah, I don't know, 334. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like not getting the signal. 334 and 785. Are you like there you go.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah. I don't know what was going on, man. What's your name? Where are you calling in from, bro?
This is Chris from Wetumpka.
Chris, what's up, bro? Good to hear from you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, no problem. I listen to you every day, so it's good to finally get in through you.
For sure, man. Yeah. Happy Saturday, bro. We got a couple different points on the board, man. It's your show. Take it away. Good to hear from you, Chris.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Bediako thing. I really don't like it for college basketball. I think it's a shame But if everybody else is going to be breaking rules and doing all this, then I mean, you got to catch up with them somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, especially when there's very similar situations that have happened at Louisville, and I think Baylor is the other instance. But the biggest thing was, Chris, is that Nate Oates really opened my eyes, and the more I thought about it, about the European leagues, and he's like, you're penalizing Americans by allowing them not to play because they went to the G League and they didn't sign a professional contract. So look, Nate Oates is for uniformity, but there's not that. So what are you going to do? Just sit on your hands and let everybody beat you, and by playing with different rules? You can't do that.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. I mean, if everybody else is going to do it, you can't get left in the dust by not doing the same thing they're doing.
And I think, and that's one of the biggest thing that people are having, because people from Alabama clearly have integrity. So they're having an issue because it's like an ethical thing. Ooh, it's like his hands are tied. Like the guy, his job is based off wins and losses, right? And we know who Nate Oates is clearly, but like what are you going to expect him to do? Not play the guy, lose, and then we criticize him for losing? I mean, he's not in a good situation here.
I agree. I agree 100% on that.
What else you got, man?
Just moving on. Coach Cap. I got kind of mixed feelings with Coach Cap because I don't think that he had the right personnel. And there was several injuries, and we had to reshuffle the line a bunch this year. So
yeah.
I can understand why they would keep him, but I'm not disappointed that they let him go because I haven't seen really any development with the line. It's just been stagnant.
Yeah, when I looked to the Alabama offensive line too, I did notice a lot of different rotation, but I think I don't really have a problem with rotation, to be honest. I just have a problem with them not being overly dominant. I mean, I think here is like you win in the trenches, right? The SEC, you got to win in the trenches. This is one of the years where you just they didn't win in the trenches. They didn't seem like they were they didn't ever seem like they were the aggressor, in my opinion. Even like a guy like Caden Proctor, I never thought that he's reached kind of his full potential. What else you got, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, when our line was pretty big this year, we got Proctor at like 365 or whatever it was. When you're actually doing running plays, you would expect to get some kind of movement, but you never got any movement out of them.
Mm-hmm. No.
It just seems like they were always beat, and that I think that comes back to technique, and that's what Coach Cap needs to teach them is the right technique. Yeah. Because 365, nobody should be able to move you at 365. Yeah. Nobody.
I know. Yeah, nobody should be able to move you. So I guess we'll see. I mean, in like the hot board right now, I think the real name that I think is on there is probably Scott Huff, and everything out there is probably like up for grabs. So I'm sure these guys are well connected. They'll bring in someone, and we'll celebrate it, and we'll see how it turns out. Anything else, bro?
No, that's it.
All right, man. Take it easy. And thanks for the support, man. We'll see you inside the comment box. All right, that was C coming. Chris calling from Webtonka. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Well, as I said, fam, I'm gonna be back tonight, 7:30 for that basketball game. We'll hang out. If you're having wings tonight, if you're having a hamburger, whatever, bring it to the show. We'll hang out. We'll celebrate life. We'll talk about the news as it happens. And news has been happening, so I'm always around. Go live. I was down at campus earlier today. It was cold then when I was outside, 100%. Not so much now. But news as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. There's been so much news to track, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the coverage. I appreciate you guys being fan funders. I appreciate the super chats, the big super chats, the small. It's all good. Like, I just appreciate the support for you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining the program. This is kind of our Saturday pop-up show. Usually on Saturdays, Sundays, we go live at 12 p.m. just to kind of recap stuff, just to kind of switch it up just a little bit. Monday through Friday, as you know, I am live at 10 a.m. And then, of course, as news happens, I am live as well. So thank you so much. Probably going to go down to the kitchen and chef some stuff up and enjoy this beautiful day. So thank you so much once again, and I will catch you on the next live right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for calling in. Really appreciate chatting with you guys.